Calgary Police Service has charged a second man in relation to a weekend homicide. On Sunday, July the 19th, 2015, at approximately 1:30 a.m., officers responded to the 4000 block of 19th Street Northwest for reports of a man in medical distress. The victim was transported to hospital, where he died a short time later. The victim has been identified as Levi Marance, 18 years, of Red Deer. Jesse Sky Copenace, 18, is charged with second-degree murder. A 17-year-old male is also charged with second-degree murder and cannot be named under the provisions of the Youth Criminal Justice Act. This is the 14th homicide of 2015. Anyone with information regarding this incident or the events leading up to it are asked to contact the Calgary Police Service or Crime Stoppers anonymously. I'll take your questions now.
Can we talk about what led to this latest arrest?
What led to the latest arrest?
Yeah, why the second individual was charged. It seemed on Sunday they only had one person in custody, so.
Well, through our investigation led us to the second individual at a location, and we were able to arrest that individual.
Can we talk about the nature of, I guess, the gathering that night? It was early morning hours. We weren't able to establish exactly how many witnesses or people had been at the party or what the altercation was about.
Our information, there were 7 individuals at the residence at the time, including the victim and the 2 individuals that are charged.
Do you know what connection they had with that apartment building? They were guests there?
They were invited guests.
Okay. And none of them, you don't know if they were part of that McMahon Family Services, the second individual that was charged?
None of the individuals, either the victim or the 2 individuals charged, have any direct connection to McMahon Services.
Can you tell us a little bit about the charges laid, why second degree, and I guess why the charge for both? Like why the 17 and 18-year-old, why they were charged with what they were?
We consulted with the Office of the Crown Prosecutor and obtained enough evidence in the opinion of the Crown to lay charges of second-degree murder.
Both were charged, right?
Both have been charged, yes.
I mean, for lack, I know there's only so much you can say, but I guess both can be charged even though one may have only been holding the knife?
Well, I'm not going to get into specifics with respect to who did what, but they both contributed to the homicide, and they both, in the opinion of the Crown, have met the threshold of second-degree murder.
And what is the threshold? Just lack of premeditation?
That's right.
Where, was it a knife? Can we confirm that it was a knife that was used, and was it recovered?
We haven't recovered a weapon at this point, and we're asking for any members who may have information with respect to the weapon to contact us.
Weapon knife?
I won't get into the. I'll have more for you tomorrow. The autopsy is still currently ongoing. I can tell you that. So.
Where was the victim found? Was he inside, outside when police responded to the scene?
The victim was found within the residence.
So you've charged 2 individuals.
Yes.
You've thrown out the request for any more information that the public might be able to give you. What type of information with the charges that are already laid would you still be looking for?
Well, we're looking for any information, anything that puts these individuals at the scene, fleeing the scene. I can tell you that one of the individuals did flee. They both fled the scene immediately after the incident, and the 17-year-old was picked up by the Hawks helicopter and subsequently arrested by 3 district patrol members.
How
Is there anything specific that the public might be able to keep an eye out for to further assist you?
Well, we're looking for anybody that may have seen something to come forward.
And how far away was the 17-year-old when you guys found him? We heard kind of nearby. Do you have a block or an area?
Within a number of blocks.
Do you know who called 911?
Somebody within the residence called 911.
Are all 3 from Red Deer?
No, just the victims from Red Deer.
And have you guys been called to this address before, this apartment? We were kind of hearing there might have been a domestic situation previous to that. Do you know?
I'm not aware of any domestic incident relating to that particular apartment.
Are the suspects cooperating with police?
The suspects are somewhat cooperating with the police.
How difficult is it for the investigation to continue when you do have young offenders involved? It must change the dynamic of the investigation to some degree.
Well, obviously, there are rules in the Youth Criminal Justice Act that we have to follow with respect to taking statements and that sort of thing. But as far as gathering evidence, there really is not a lot of difference with the investigation. We utilize whatever we can to obtain the evidence that we need to move the investigation forward.
What was the relationship of these three to the tenants of that apartment? Did they all know each other before?
The three were invited guests, so they were, I guess, associates.
And did they know the victim? The two that have been charged, did they know the victim?
Yes, one of the individuals, Mr. Copenace, and the victim were associates of one another. They did know one another.
Friends or just?
Well, I don't have enough information to, and depends on how you want to define friend.
And I know this will come out, I guess, maybe further, but any motivation, what started this altercation in the first place?
Well, there had been a disagreement earlier in the evening that led up to, unfortunately, Mr. Marance being murdered.
So it was the two individuals that resided in the home. So 5 people were invited to a gathering to make a total of 7?
I know that one of the residents of the apartment invited a number of guests.
So we're just trying to get a sense of how many though, like was 5 in the apartment plus the 3 involved? Or 4, 3, like?
There were a total of 7 in the apartment,
Including the victim?
including the victim and the 2 accused persons.
So 1 resided in the apartment and there were 6 guests, or 2 resided and there were 5?
Yeah, those specific details, yeah.
Do you know what the disagreement was about?
Can't really get into those details.
Does Mr. Marance have family in the city?
In the city? Not that I'm aware of.
No. So every loved ones next to kin, that's all Red Deer and beyond probably.
Yeah, they're not within Calgary, that's all I can tell you.
Is Copenace? Is he
Copenace, yeah.
Copenace, is he from Calgary?
He has resided in Calgary for a number of years.